The partisan stalemate in Washington right now is my biggest concern because it seems like we get nothing done because they're fighting left and right. You overcame that in New York. So how will you take what did you do in New York, and how will you apply that to Washington to get rid of that stalemate?
You're right. There's a real feeling around this country that Washington doesn't work anymore. In other words, it doesn't get things done, or it gets very little done. Immigration is something that they talked about a lot. There are a whole bunch of other things on the agenda that have to be done. Healthcare reform. Here's the way to do it. I think the way to do it is to first say that as soon as the election is over, there should be a peace. Somebody should put up an armistice. You know, like a white flag. They should put a white flag somewhere on the Washington, either at the Capitol or at the White House or both places. Everybody get together and say, how about we don't fight for a year or two? How about we try to get something done for a year or two? Right now they debate over principles. You know, energy independence, I think we can get done. I think that can get done on a bipartisan basis. I think we can straighten out Social Security on a bipartisan basis. Nobody has to worry then about their benefits and whether they're going to be protected. We did it before. We can do that. I think there are other things we can do. I think we can do some form of that legal reform that I talked about on a bipartisan basis. I think we can find common ground and agreement. I believe we can do a tax package on a bipartisan basis. That's why when I put out my tax program, I say to people, I'm not guaranteeing you I can do all of this. I never did when I was mayor of New York. I put out all kinds of tax reductions. I got, I think something like 64. I got 23 of them done. Part of the confusion about whether it's 15 or 23 is 15 of them were ones that I had originally proposed as part of the 64. The others were ones that I took in substitution of the ones that I had proposed. I was real happy with them when I got them. Maybe I always wanted them. Who knows? Nobody will ever know of the 64 how many I actually really wanted. Maybe I got a few less than I really wanted. Maybe I got a few more than I really wanted. But this is how you have. The art of negotiation is enormously important. You have to stake out a really strong position, and then you have to be able to figure out where you can come out that's good enough to really improve things. If it gets you below where you really improve things, well, then you don't do it. But if you can get to a point where maybe you have to sacrifice a few of the things you want for what you want, you got to do it. Now, I learned that because I had a city council of 45 Democrats and 6 Republicans. We fought a lot. A lot. Well, we got a lot done. I mean, we got a tremendous amount done. I think we got more done in my period of time as mayor than the city had gotten done in maybe 30 years in the area of ultimately, there are going to be areas, we are Republicans, we are Democrats, for a reason. They still believe they believe. Everything I told you about taxes, they honestly believe the opposite. And I disagree with them, but I don't disrespect them. They honestly believe something different. So on those things, it's really, on those things where you can't compromise, or you can't find a middle ground, then you have to go convince the American people. That is essentially what Ronald Reagan did in getting his tax cuts done. Ronald Reagan announced what was at the time, Steve, I think the biggest tax cut in American history. Chip O'Neill said, dead on arrival. Ronald Reagan finally got it done, not by changing Chip O'Neill's mind on the principle of the thing. I'd imagine Chip O'Neill, even at the time it got passed, thought it was a mistake. But he went and convinced enough of the American people in the districts that counted Democratic and Republican swing votes, so they changed the minds of the members of Congress. So you have to know how to do that too. And you're not going to win every battle. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. That's essentially what happened to the immigration compromise proposal this year, or last year. The American people came out against it. And so if you can convince the American people, and it taught me something. What it taught me is the position that I just outlined for you, which is you have to end illegal immigration before you can straighten out everything else. If you end illegal immigration, you'll be able to straighten everything else out. Because it will give you the fear that the 12 million people that are here becomes 20 million people. And I think that's the other thing. This is a great audience. I wish I could stay longer, but I got a lot of stops to make today. You guys have started voting already, and we're trying to energize you as much as possible to get out and vote, to get other people to vote, to find friends of yours that are going to vote. They have 2 weeks in which to do it before we get to the primary. Maybe we can get it all done before January 29th. What do you think? I promise you that I will work every single day. I'll put those 12 commitments on my desk. Every single day I'll try to accomplish them. And my overall goal is to accomplish being able to pass this country along to the next president as a stronger country, a safer country, a more prosperous country, a country in which our citizens have economic security and our citizens have security, national security and physical security. These are the things that make a country great, and that Americans can dream their greatest dreams, all of us, and have a chance of accomplishing. Thank you very much.